What's up, guys? Rev Sauce here. So Nintendo finally pulling the trigger and suing Palworld. I told you guys a long time ago on this very channel that Palworld was going to get sued eventually by Nintendo. A lot of people have been reporting this for months, waiting for the day that Nintendo gets off their ass and sues. Nintendo's been on a warpath lately with emulator websites. Nintendo, if it quacks like a duck, acts like a duck, it's a duck. And Nintendo does not give a shit about the consumer. They do not care about people's feelings. They care about their feelings. They care about, if you're taking from our table, we're going to be like the Gestapo. We're going to come and cut you at the knees. We ain't giving a shit. And that's what Nintendo is doing. I do not like big greedy companies ruining it for everybody. I think Nintendo lately has been on a warpath. They don't care about preserving games. They don't care about the consumer. For shit's sakes, they don't care about putting their games on the PC through Steam or an app. They don't care about consumers. They want you to only enjoy Pokemon. They've been going after companies that have been making Pokemon rip-off games for years. And they have beaten a lot of these companies to death. And there's another company that just came out, Yuzu, I believe. They have another company that's out doing emulation. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo sues that. Because we can't have nice things, according to Nintendo. Nintendo is like, oh, hell no. Hell no. You cannot have something that looks like a Pikachu. Hell no. That looks like a Lugia. We can't have that. Oh, that looks like Charizard. Hell no. We cannot have that. So basically, it's over patent infringing stuff. It says here they're in a Tokyo district court against the developer Pocket Pair over alleged patent infringing stuff. Now, this could lead into copyright infringement. I think Nintendo's going to start here. They're going to tear them limb by limb. Because what Nintendo is seeing is, look, it quacks like a duck. It acts like a duck. We're going to go sue the shit out of this company. It's kind of like Apple taking the blood and sensor oxygen chip from this other company, trying to change a little bit of it so they wouldn't get in trouble, but they still got in trouble and they lost badly. So this company is making hand over fist with Microsoft and a bunch of others. So what's happening is, and it's coming to PlayStation eventually, this game. Palworld, they've already talked about bringing it to PlayStation. So you could imagine all the money they're going to make from microtransactions and character buying and their version of Pokeballs being done and all this stuff. Like, Nintendo's looking at this like we need to end them now. We got to be the Gestapo, the Yakuza. We got to go in here and end them before this is a multi-million-dollar thing and we can't, you know what I mean? It's just, it goes with the adage, why can't we have nice things? Nintendo's is like, fuck your couch. You can't have nice things. And they've done this to so many people. They've gone after, they're just waiting for the archive.org shit or the Internet Archive for some patents and shit to run out. And they're just going to go after them hardcore. And it's like, Nintendo just does not care. This is the one thing about Nintendo I just despise. Is they just want to go after anybody and pawn anything. They don't care about people. They don't care about preserving. They seriously do not give a shit about the future. They want you to buy Pokemon on their platform. They don't care. They don't care how old it is. They don't care. It's that mentality. They just don't care. So the Pokemon design, you may assume that based on Nintendo's lawsuit that, however, the dispute is over copyright, which protects the original creative works of authorship like books, music, and artist design. While Nintendo announced back in January that they intend to investigate and take the appropriate measures. Basically, they said they were going to watch to see how much money they were going to make. They didn't expect this game to make millions. My friends all went and started playing the game. Now, since they've added cross-play support and things like that, and custom servers and things like that. This game has been pretty much pretty much one of the indie games that has really gotten some traction, and this company has really made a lot of money. So the Nintendo, they're like the Gestapo, they're like the Yakuza. They do not, if it looks like Pokemon, they want to cut. They want to cut. They want a piece of a pie. Nintendo is so greedy. They want a piece of a pie. They don't, if the animation looks ever so slightly like their patent, they want to cut. If Nintendo wins this company honestly will be hurting hard. They will lose millions. Which hurts us in return because Nintendo, and this company doesn't understand why Nintendo's doing it. So instead of Nintendo saying, sue Palworld over patent infringing rather than protecting the creative works of patents, protecting innovation and inventions and process of by filing patent infringement lawsuit, Nintendo is not going after Pocket Pair for Palworld creative designs, at least not directly, but instead it's alleging Palworld is illegally infringing on specific patent-protected software innovations. Nintendo is that divorce that happened, and they're like no, we want more than just a divorce. We want the cars, we want your clothes. We don't give a shit. We're gonna strip you down naked and make you walk 10 miles. That's Nintendo. That is just, Nintendo is looking worse and worse and worse as a fucking company. Jesus. They are not giving a fuck. If you have retro games and you want to share your ROMs, good luck. Nintendo would want your soul. Jesus. Nintendo just doesn't give a fuck. Like, they're claiming, like, this right here. They're claiming all this right here. Virtual spaces. Buckle up. Patent language ahead. You've been warned. Like, holy shit. Like, they're claiming... They're claiming, like, how the ball's being thrown towards a Pokemon. Jesus. They're going hard. To gain protections on what they claim is formal... Yeah, it's delightful reputation of drawing a shonen mock battle between a T-Rex. Oh, Jesus. Nintendo is thirsty for money. That's what it tells me. They just don't give a fuck. They just don't give a fuck. They do not care about the end consumer at all. They don't care about your feelings. They're like, fuck your feelings. They don't give a shit. So Nintendo's going after some, over, like you see in the drawing here, this is what they're going after, the way the ball's being thrown, technically in layman's terms. They're claiming the U.S. patents and other patents that were infringed by Palworld. So what happens is, when patents are being infringed, if they win in court, wherever, they have to pay reputable damages, which means our repetitive damages. I apologize. English is hard for me. And what happens is that could be in the millions. It could ruin a company. If it comes in the court, says, oh, well, you know, we don't find anything that's really kind of, then Nintendo will be laughed out of court. This could end two ways, them being laughed out of court or Palworld Pocket Pair having to pay. Now, I think they'll probably try to settle this out of court if this does become anything big. I think they will try to, because Nintendo, I heard, is very vicious. They were vicious. They were vicious to Yuzu, but Yuzu kind of did it to themselves. Yuzu buried themselves personally. They were giving ISOs and stuff on the low, and then Yazoo or whatever the new one is, like I honestly think that's gonna get sued too and taken off the air. I was shown that by some friends. That'll be just taken off the air. Now you're asking me, why is Ryujinx not been taken off the air? Because they're not sharing ISOs. They're not doing any illegal activity. They're just doing a GitHub thing and just letting you download it, or they have it on other ways to get it, and they're not copyright infringing anything. They're not even telling you where to get ISOs and shit like that, or ROMs in general. So, Nintendo's just a greedy fucking company at this point. Like, they won't release on, if they just worked with companies, like to me, it's just mind-boggling. Nintendo doesn't want money. They're greedy. They would rather ruin companies than make money. They would rather ruin history and foundations of things than put it out there. And, I said this. People will bend over backwards for Nintendo if they just release their games on PC. People will pay a subscription just to play those games through cloud or emulation. You know what I mean? If you got a library full of ROMs and Nintendo just kept updating them once a month and you paid like $10-15 a month on top of paying for Nintendo Online or Nintendo Plus PC Online or something of the range, or they released it on Steam, people would pay bend over backwards. You know what I mean? They would just pay for that, bend over backwards for people. You know what I mean? People would go crazy for it. Nintendo's missing the point here. I think this is laughable, but I understand why Nintendo's doing it. Because Nintendo, like I said, they're Yakuza. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit. They see something that looks like a Pokeball, or looks like a Pikachu moving, and they go, Pika, Pika. They're going to sue your ass. That's what's happening. I think it's wrong. I think we can't have nice things in 2024, 2025, whatever, the future. Nintendo doesn't want to help out the future. They want to ruin it, and so they could sell it for the price of $100 or more and ruin good companies that are just trying to make an earning. And a lot of the characters, yes, you could say some of them are copywriting infringing on Nintendo, but it's very petty. It just seems like Nintendo is very, very petty about this, honestly. Anyway, I'll have a link down below. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.